is by providing that support and asking the questions, finding out what is going on. Why is that child not performing well? What is the struggle? So that we can actually give them the support that they need to do well, so that they can continue to feel good about themselves from the inside out.
Welcome to Imperfect Momming. Our children are constantly looking to us for examples. The term role model doesn't quite cut it here. We are shaping their worldview with every move we make. You see, it's not in the lectures we give or moments where we are actively attempting to teach them. It's in the micro movements we make, the unconscious ways in which we navigate life. We are constantly teaching our children how to show up for themselves, their friends, their future partners, and even their future children. So what can we do to ensure we are raising thoughtful, compassionate, self-aware human beings? We have to become them ourselves. No one is perfect, but we can still all be better, and it starts with self-healing. Let's get to it. Welcome to our weekly Wisdom for Parents. I'm Alysia Lyons.
I'm Melanie Soloway.
I'm Dean Emod.
And today we're going to talk about self-esteem versus confidence. What is it, and how do we help support our children in maintaining their self-esteem as they go through this world?
Love it, love it, love it. Yes. So self-confidence versus self-esteem, right? It's a subtle distinction, but a very important one. So as you can see on the slide that we've put up, self-confidence is how we feel about our skills and how the world sees us, versus self-esteem is actually how we feel about ourselves on the inside. Just to unpack that a little bit more, when we are good at something, we feel confident about it, right? The world is looking at us and go, oh, you're good at soccer, you're good at art, you're getting that feedback from the outside, whether it's from our parents or from our teachers or from our friends, whoever it is that's giving us that external feedback, and that is going to make us feel good. However, when we're doing things to look good to other people on the outside, are we really being authentic to ourselves? And how do we actually feel about that on the inside? How do we feel about ourselves? So this very subtle but very important distinction is when we're feeling good about our authentic selves on the inside, that is when we have healthy self-esteem.
Right. So one of the things about self-esteem, the difference between self-esteem and self-confidence is when you have good self-esteem, no one can take that from you. You own that and you earn that. And that is inherently available to us all. Like we are deserve respect, we deserve loving and the dignity of our own process. And by the way we achieve our self-worth and our value is how we allow ourselves to have that in the world. It doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing in the world. It really is just inherent and innate. And that's what we want to encourage in our children, right? We want to encourage them to be in touch with how they feel about themselves. And really, the difference between self-esteem is admiring what they do as skills in the world, like, oh, that's a great painting, or I love what you did in soccer today. How did that feel? Like when you made that kick. And just to encourage them to pay attention to how they feel about the things that they do in this world, and be curious about that as a parent.
It's really hard when we grew up the way we grew up, because I don't know about you, but I can imagine that your parents said, good job on your straight A's, and why do you have an F? You know, or you're grounded because you have an F. And so we do have to retrain ourselves to be more conscious of this, because I can also imagine when you got that F, that felt really bad even before your parents said, how dare you, and now you're punished.
Where did we get the notion that in order to get children to behave better, we first have to make them feel worse? And going to your point directly, Alysia, like for that kid that is already getting that bad grade or didn't do well on the soccer field or didn't do well in whatever it was that they were doing, just like us, we already don't feel good. We don't need somebody else to point it out. And what if the reason that we didn't do well is because we're struggling in something and we actually need the support and the help, right? That's how we build support, is then, or we build self-esteem, is by providing that support. Excuse me, is by providing that support and asking the questions, finding out what is going on. Why is that child not performing well? What is the struggle? So that we can actually give them the support that they need to do well, so that they can continue to feel good about themselves from the inside out.
So one of the questions I like to ask my children sometimes when they do something that they're not proud of, or that they don't like, or they didn't do it well enough, or they're judging themselves, is I ask them, can you love yourself even though you didn't do well? Can you love and accept yourself even though you didn't make that goal at this moment up until now, right? Because in the next moment you have the ability to change and shift something and do something differently. But the ultimate is, can you still stay in your loving and acceptance for yourself, who you are as a person, irrelevant to what you do in this world? That's really for all of us at all ages.
So one of the things that I really, really love about that question, Deanna, is that you are really communicating to your kids your love, regardless of how it is they perform. That they don't have to perform to get your love, to earn your love. And so by asking that question in the way that you're asking it, you're also communicating to them how you feel, without telling them, I'm so proud of you, or I'm so disappointed in you. Your feeling about them is, regardless of what they do, regardless of how they act or what their behavior was, that you love them and you're coming from that loving place. And that is the crux, that is the key. That is what will help our kids hold on to that feeling of self-esteem within themselves, is to know that they're lovable, not because of how they perform, but because of who they are.
What a beautiful question. I love that. I'm going to put that one right in my pocket. So we are going to have a workshop called Full Esteem Ahead coming for you all to join, where we're going to teach more about self-esteem and versus self-confidence, and more tools that you can add to your toolbox to help your children foster and continue to grow their self-esteem. So we'll have that for you next week. And thank you for being here. We'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Imperfect Momming. It's time for us to step up and realize that our power is not in trying to shape our children. Our power lies in shaping ourselves into the people we want our children to model themselves after. Don't just do it for your kids. Do it for yourself. When you become a more self-aware, compassionate, and confident person, you and everyone around you benefit. For more information about me and my work, visit AlysiaLyons.com. That's ALYSIALYONS.com. See you next time.